Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. It's Barry. We had a great weekend ourselves. We played pickleball for the first time, and we worked in our garden. And I was thinking about all of the beautiful single people that are out there and what is really possible for them. And so that had me thinking about success in business versus the way people approach finding love. So if you're single, do you ever feel like love and dating is really random and annoying? There are actually sites now that are putting people together, and meaning they're putting together events and trying to move people away from meeting online to meeting in person. And what that led me to want to share with you today is that you do not have to be you don't have to be alone. And if you're married, you also don't have to be in a mediocre marriage. Imagine being able to apply success strategies that you apply in business to love. Now, how many of you say, ew, dating, finding love, it's just not that important to me. I don't have time. I'm not going to bother with it. I don't even believe it's possible. How many of you say that? Well, I know people say that to me all day long. They say things like, oh, it'll happen when it happens. But that's because they feel powerless about it. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you ever, when it comes to business, running a company, being in leadership, do you ever say, it'll happen when it happens? And I know that the answer is no. Because when it comes to business, we have strategy. We have a project plan, right? We have goals. We have deadlines. And you apply something really big, critical thinking. Critical thinking. Because would anything happen in business if you said, we'll see what happens? No, nothing would happen. And so this week, last week actually, I interviewed Stephanie. And we're going to put the video down here for you to share, to see. And there are so many amazing parallels in Stephanie's story that you can apply to your love life. Stephanie is 39. She was 39 and she was dating, and it was so random and disappointing and frustrating. And she's a high achieving professional. She works in HR. And she was dating men that were emotionally unavailable. One of them actually wanted to have a polyamorous relationship after 6 months. And she's a marriage-minded, family-oriented woman, right? So, like, clearly, they were off. Another relationship, he didn't want to get married. After a year, he wouldn't commit. So Stephanie was really frustrated. So she came to work with me to apply a strategic plan rooted in critical thinking and steps. And so, if you're here for the first time, if you don't know about my work, we're talking about applying critical thinking, strategy, because that's what I've been doing for more than 15 years, helping high-achieving singles break out of frustrating patterns. And you deserve, and I know many of you have gone to therapy and meditated and done a lot of things, and I think that's fantastic. I did those things for myself too, and so did Stephanie. But Stephanie would say to her therapist, what's next? And her therapist's answer to her was, give it time, give it time. So after 5 years, she didn't want to give it time anymore. She wanted to make it happen. So she came to me and we started working together, and we applied my strategic plan that is rooted in 3 things. 3 things like you do in business. So the first thing is getting real about it, getting vulnerable, that you do want to find love, that you do want a partner that will make life better. What could be better than having a best friend, a buddy, a partner, someone who is so committed to you and your dreams, where you're committed to not I, but we-ness, right? right? So you wouldn't have to, you would be past any challenges from the past, and you'd be ready and have someone really fun and wonderful that you're attracted to, right? That wants the same things and makes life better. But in order to do that, you can't say, it's not that important, right? Because number one, the universe is listening. And if you say it's not that important, then it's literal. The universe hears, okay, no person, no man, right? So watch your words, okay? So that's the first thing, is get real and vulnerable. And Stephanie shares such a beautiful thing, how her guy makes her feel so special, so special. And there are many vulnerable moments in the interview where she shared with him, like, he treats her like a queen. She was used to crumbs. She was used to crumbs. How many of you have been used to crumbs, and that's why you don't want to try again? But don't try again. I mean, don't not try. Let's make this happen, because you can, because there's no future in the past, okay? He picked her up. She was gone for 15 days in the Philippines visiting her family, and he picked her up, which she's used to getting picked up at the curb, but no. This guy got up at 5 a.m. and met her in the airport to make sure she was okay. He brought her a rose, and he also he baked for her. Check this out, ladies. A protein banana bread, because he knew she'd be hungry. He always makes her feel special. They do fun things. And the second thing is, so the first thing is get real and get real and vulnerable. Because at work, we're tough, you know how to get things done, and you're a leader. But love requires the ability to get vulnerable and receive. So the first thing is get real and vulnerable. The second thing is to get future focused, right? Because ladies and gentlemen, you don't even realize so often that you're unknowingly living in the past. Meaning, if you had trauma of any kind, or bad relationships, or childhood trauma, or divorce, that often you're taking that trauma, and you develop heart armor, and you're guarded, not trusting, and that is actually your dating reality, right? We're attracting people who are like a mirror to your fears. That's why dating sucks. That's why it's not about whether you're dating online, on apps, or you're meeting people in person, or any of that. So you're taking the past, putting it into the present, and you know what that does? What do you think? It closes off the future. It shuts off any possibility. So you're in this infinite loop, past, present, no future, right? So step 2 in a strategic plan is to get future focused. That means that you're designing your future, right? Just like you're designing, if you're in a sales business, right? You're selling something, or you're an architect, or a lawyer, or a marketer of some kind, or right? We're always designing a future, making projections for the future, and taking these committed actions. Think about it when you go on a vacation, right? Or you're even making dinner reservations or a summer reading list, right? You're planning, right? You're making this reservation. For your business, you're planning, designing outcomes. What do I want? How much money do I want to have? How much weight do I want to lose? And then success is coming back to today and learning how to do that, right? Putting time blocks in your calendar, right? Because you're ready to make that happen. Okay, so we have to get future focused, and that involves a plan, how you're going to do it, having an open heart in doing it, really being in this future. That's why people make vision boards. But it's not enough to make a vision board without getting real and vulnerable, without a real strategy. If not, you're reading this book, you're doing this little thing, you're going on ChatGPT, right? You're doing a million things. That, my friends, is not a strategy. And like my mentor, Kelly Roach, always tells us, you have to run the reps. right? You have to do the basics to get really good at anything you're going to do. Okay, and the third thing, that to have a strategic plan, is to become an empowered dater. And Stephanie did just that. So Stephanie got future focused by learning what she needed in a relationship, by understanding her emotional needs, by really opening up to a design. And because she's never had good love, she didn't know how to make that future design. She just didn't know how. Now, we can make a checklist, but that's a very different thing than a design, right? So the third thing is to become an empowered dater, meaning you're taking committed actions. Just like in a project plan, there are stakeholders, there are milestones, right? And so we want to do the same thing when it comes to dating, and becoming an empowered dater is an amazing thing. And it changes everything, because dating becomes really fun. Dating becomes something that you feel excited about. You feel like you're in the driver's seat. You know exactly what to do with an open heart. Think of the things you love to do, right? I don't know. We played pickleball. It was super fun. Many of my clients play pickleball. We're going to do it. We actually live in nature, and we love being in nature, and we have 5 adorable rescue dogs, and the things you love, I can't wait to do them. They give me so much joy, right? So it's the same thing with dating. So when you have positive feelings about it, because you got real and vulnerable about it, you got future focus, and you learned how to become an empowered dater, that makes up a plan. So I am so excited to share this with you, because I have something really special coming up. I have a challenge coming up. It's a high achievers intensive, and it's going to be amazing. So I wanted to open you up to this, to really think about, like, what am I saying about love? What if you could apply business principles, success principles, and use the skills that you already have to find someone that makes your life so much better, so much richer? What if you could make your marriage so amazing because you're applying really healthy principles? So that's what I want to share with you. And again, for those of you who are just joining, we're talking about having love be amazing. I felt more than 1,000 people to have great, scrumptious love that makes life better. I'm married now 20 years, and we're best friends and partners, and we do great things together, and you can be too. And it's almost the fall, and the steps you take today are going to change your tomorrow. That's why we get future focused. So stay tuned and join our Facebook community, where we learn this. This is where the party happens. This is where I'm sharing all these distinctions, and where I share the workshop and the challenges. So I'm going to put the link below. We're going to share Stephanie's love story. I'd love to know what your favorite part of her love story is. There were so many beautiful distinctions. My husband edits the videos, and he cried when he was watching it. And I'm so proud of her. Abigail, thanks for tuning in. So join the Facebook group, and I will see you soon.